Dear world, no matter how hard you try to take my dreams away from me, I'll never let go of them. You can break me and destroy me, but I'll live for my dreams and I'll hold on to them till I die. The album does talk about a certain journey of my life. It starts from the point where I decided to chase my dream to the point where I am now, where I feel a little sense of accomplishment. And the journey that lies between these 2 points is what this album talks about.
Not angry at people, wanna be reclusive, cause I am pathetic when I'm in the crowd. Not taking decisions for strict isolation, but will I be fine? Gonna face the denial.
S.O.A.R is an acronym for Symphony of a Recluse, because this is an album that I created while I was going through that period of being a recluse. I just wanted to find my own quiet place and get away from all the noise for a while. And it did. It felt really nice for me to be in that space because I really needed that. And this is something that I created while I was going through that phase of life. So yeah, Symphony of a Recluse, and the acronym would be S.O.A.R.
Everything's been trying to make me deny the reason to make me insane for life. Everything's been pulling the weight of the past. Can't be alone, I'm so lost in time.
I don't think my music is genre specific. I usually go with the theme of the song, and for me that's really important. And all of the elements in the song must revolve around that theme. For instance, I could be making a very poppy song, and if I maybe feel the need of adding a few gentle screams or maybe growling to it, I'd go ahead and do that. There's constant experimentation involved in my process of making music, and I like it that way.
And I'm like running forever, we'll never find an exit. The world is crazy and hazy, it's screaming, don't hold your breath. And I may run out of breath, but I will gain some respect for my spirit and soul, for never giving and quit.
Well, I don't have a specific process of songwriting per se. I just wait for my moment of inspiration, and when I'm struck by it, I'll feel the need to create a song.
You know, there's been a lot of agony, sorrow, pain, tears and hating.
Like I said, I let my moments of inspiration drive me, and if that moment is being created by everything that's happening around me or by everything that's happening out there in the world, then I think Butchers is the kind of song that it all boils down to.
We're a bunch of butchers, baby, and we are wicked crazy. Yeah, we are wishes, maybe, we'll only kill you slowly. Look into our history, understand how we carry a different skin inside our bodies, that is no mystery.
Well, that's an interesting question. Let me start by explaining about these songs first, and I'll also tell you how I can reconcile both of these things. Bring the Fight is an extremely inspirational track. It's a track that motivates me to fight my demons, like self-doubt or my shortcomings. It could be the people who try to bring me down or the politics. It's a song that reminds me of the fact that I should be persistent in my journey of attaining my dreams. On the other hand, It's All in Vain is a very sad track. It's a track where you'll hear me begging or screaming for help. To be really honest with you, there was a time when I wanted to end the project because I thought it would make me look weak. And then I realized that there could be other people out there who could be feeling the same way that I'm feeling, who could be going through the same phase. And I thought it would be inspirational to them in a way, because that's the way it works with me. When I hear some people talk about their darkest days, the years of screaming and crying and trying, which are behind the years of success and smiles, it really motivates me, it inspires me, and it reminds me of the fact that the struggle is the part of that process, and it keeps me going. I'd like to deliver the same sort of inspiration with my music as well, and that's why I'm keeping it really, really honest. And how do I reconcile Bring the Fight and It's All in Vain? Well, I think, and I believe, as long as I'm being honest with what I'm saying, people will find it inspirational.
Yeah, it's alright, you can bring the fight. You're gonna knock you down, I'm gonna make you cry. Yeah, it's alright, you can give it a try. I'm trying to attain my balance, all the pain's gotta be used in my favor. I can let it devour my mind, my life, so I'll use the fire to burn my darkest nights. I'll use its own power.
Well, sometimes I feel the need of letting things out. Sometimes I just reach that moment of an outburst. Then I wouldn't care about anything except for what I need to say. I wouldn't care about the lyrical structures. Will it rhyme? Will it not? So it was one of those moments for me when I created these words. I understand there's a little bit of Russian there, but these words is an extremely lyrical, unconditional, and a really whimsical track in this album.
These words are right, these words insane. I'm not even trying to prove anything. When I can't define, when I can't explain, I let it all out just to ease my pain.
Well, it's a really good question. I also have to talk about the person who asked this question. His name is Joshua, and I met him at a coffee shop. He was a complete stranger. He was reading a book and he was having his coffee. I wanted to go and find out about the book that he was reading, so I walked up to him and I said, "Excuse me, do you have a minute?" And it was really nice. He asked me to take a seat, and we initially started having a conversation about the book that he was reading, and I talked about the books that I read. We eventually started conversing about life, dreams, goals, passion, work. We went on and on. I think we ended up having a conversation for about an hour or two, and it felt really nice to have the conversation with him. So thank you, Joshua, for always being supportive, for being relatable, and for this question as well. And Joshua, my process of making music is extremely lyrical. In the words of Emil Sheeran, there are obsessions and experiences that one can't live without, and salvation lies in confessing them. You see, I'm that kind of a guy. I'm the kind of guy who likes to dig deep, who likes to peel back my skin, who likes to take a deep dive into my inner infinity to get my words out. And I'm not trying to exaggerate it. It really is my process of doing it. And I find it extremely therapeutic and cathartic when I dig deep into myself and when I make my art form based on my inner reality. But you have a valid question. I have to make it relatable to everybody by the end of the day. I think it's time for me to stop being so reclusive, stop being so subjective. It's time for me to step out into the world. It's time for me to start gaining a different viewpoint of looking at the world. So I'm trying to work upon that. Hopefully I'll be able to reach that point by the time I start my next album. And we'll see how it goes.
I'm a reticent man, but then this is a man. Though I think a lot, I don't know how to start talking about my fears, my feelings, my tears. But they're always hiding, they can't see and hear.
Well, I'm extremely old school when it comes to my musical influences. These two are my biggest influences. The first one's Linkin Park and the second's Bon Jovi, not in the order of preference. And the third one right there is one of the quotes by Bruce Lee. It says, "As you think, so shall you become." I really like it, so I've kept it there. But these two are my biggest influences. But I don't know why I'm not being able to get influenced by new age music. I usually like stuff that is really deep and lyrical and extremely honest. I like Mike Shinoda though. I find his music very, very artistic, especially after what has happened with Linkin Park, which is really depressing. I love the fact that he's still out there and he's still making music and is still making such beautiful music. Post Traumatic is a very beautiful album for me because it's very, very honest and deep. So yeah, I like music like that, and I have a hard time finding artists like Mike Shinoda. If you have a suggestion that you can give, please put it in the comment section. I'll go through that. I'm really bad with discovery, so help me out.
Be with me, choices are made. Crushing me, it's all in me. Be with me, choices are made. Crushing me, it's all in me.
Well, the experiences that I've had in life, they gave me the lyrical structures. But if you're asking about the technical aspect of creating it, I wrote the songs, I produced the tracks, I mixed them as well. And I found a guy called Steve who works at Sage Audio Mastering. He's the one who mastered the album and he had done a really good job. So thank you, Steve, if you're watching this. And I recorded my music in a room like this, which was not even acoustically treated. But then I had to work with the resources that I had. I had a Samsung C01 microphone. I had Bare Dynamic headphones. I had Focusrite 2i2 interface. This was all I had. And of course a laptop and FL Studio with some VSTs like Vocalize, Addictive Drums, Stylus, and I've used a few inbuilt plugins like FL Slayer for electric guitars, and I've then sent it to another VST called Amplitude, which has got a really good set of guitar amps. And I've used a VST called Manipulator to create a demonic voice effect because I wanted to give my inner demons a different voice, and I've used that in a song called Bring the Fight. And I've used Waves plugins for mixing, C4, Vocal Rider, Doubler, R Compressor, RDSR, RVox. I've used Tony Maserati's vocal plugins, which are really, really good. yeah, these are a few of the plugins that I used to create the album.
Save me something, won't you save me something, won't you stop consuming all of my dreams. Save me something, won't you save me something, won't you leave me something to believe in.
Well, I've used an app called PixArt. It's got a really good set of overlays and filters. It's really easy to use and it's got a lot of options for you to mold the picture the way you want. I really like that one, and it was really easy for me to create the artwork for this album with that app.
Feel like everybody's trying to break you, man. It feel like everybody's trying to drag you down. You'll be forced to believe you are the one that can lead yourself to your bliss, land of dreams that you miss.
Well, one of the obvious problems was feedback, because I was being the creator and the critique at the same time of my work. The other thing is I'm not a really technically strong person, so I was learning mixing and production. I was working on my album at the same time, which was why it took a long time for me to come out with this. But now I've got a basic understanding of how it all works, so hopefully things will be a little easy for me when I'm working upon my next album.
This isn't certain, this can't be real, this can't just stare you up, but this has been concealed.
It's gonna take a long while before I come out with the next one. But this time I'll try to create merchandise and I'll try to come out with a really good promotional plan. I did not have the required knowledge to do all that with my first album. So I'll try to do my research, and I'm going to take my time before I come out with the second one. Once I get a clarity upon a few things, I will let you know. But for now, things are really unclear because I've got a few abstract ideas that I'm working upon. So let's see.
So embarrassed and careless and broken to be on the street. These are days of my life where I need to be free. I'm like holding so tight on to dreams, and I need to be someone I see in my dreams. Has been pushing me, I can't help but reveal all these thoughts and implosion, so I'll be relieved.